lovely.
Yep.
Thanks, Joe.
Yep. So hello, everybody out there on Facebook Live. Glad you're with us today. We're going to be opening the doors in just about a minute. Thank you so much for being here. We're excited to sing with you. And thanks for your patience while we futz with the tech for a second. Okay, everybody ready? Deep breath. And here we go. Hello, everybody. Hello. So glad to see so many folks joining us today. 75 so far and counting. So hello to everybody out there who's joining us on Facebook Live. We are glad that you are with us today. And hello, as always, to everyone in the room. Glad to see Nancy in Vermont, Becky in Vancouver, Arlene in California. Hello, Elise Witt in Georgia. Glad you're here, one of our regular leaders. Karen in Arizona. Emily, hello. Susan in Ohio. Candace, hello. Nice to see you. Trish in Victoria, Sandy in the Yukon, Jane in the UK, Lisa in Indiana, Carolyn in Idaho, Deborah in Kentucky. Hello, Janice in Ohio, Kathleen in Albuquerque, Greg Lewis in DC. Hello, Karen in Utah. Hello, Mariana and Rick, also one of our song leaders and partner. Hello, in Vermont, Nancy in Washington, Sarah in Texas. Hello, Jerome, glad you're with us again today. Steve in Baltimore. Hello. Hello, Debbie. Nice to have you. Christiana and Bob in Rockville, Kathy in Virginia. Hello, Jacqueline in Georgia, and Bonnie in Idaho, Barb in Kentucky. Hello to Julie, nice to have you with us today. Hello to Renata in Wisconsin, glad you're here again. Annette in California, hello. Deli in Maryland. Hello, Anne, nice to see you. Peter and Janet in Toronto, hello and hello. Jamie in Victoria, hello, Anna in Maryland. Hello, Sean and Sue in California, and Beth in Kentucky, and Susan in Seattle. Hello, Susan in the Gettysburg area, and Pete in Florida. Luda in BC, hello. Hindi in Toronto, Kevin in New Hampshire. Hello, Caroline, great to see you coming in from the DMV area. Bob and Mabel in Massachusetts, along with Cinnamon Bears. Hello, Sheila in Florida, Martha in Oregon, Lynn in Connecticut. Deep breath, Joe. Hello, Michelle in Maryland. Wait, my screen just changed. Hi, Michelle in Maryland, and Tom in Victoria, and Fred in DC. Hello, Busy Graham, Carpe Diem Arts. Lisa in Indiana, I think I saw you already. Hello, Sean, nice to have you. And to folks who are not on video, that's my mommy. Hello, mommy, and Dan, and Catherine, and Gay, and Nicola, and Valerie, and Ken, and Isabel, and Gwen, and Beryl, and Margaret, and still others popping into the room. Hello to all of you. So glad you've all joined us today. And really, really glad that you're going to sing with us. Again, for anybody who's new, this is the Washington Rebels Carpe Diem Arts Daily Antidote of Song. We're here every day at noon, rapidly approaching our 1 year of singing together, 365 days of having done this every day. A little song, a little discussion, a little community, a little eye contact, a little love. It's a good place to be in the middle of the day or the end of the day or the beginning of the day, depending on where you are. Happy Saturday, everybody. All right, so a couple quick notes. The lyrics will be in the chat, and there is a donate link in the chat. All of the money that comes into this program goes to the artists who lead us in song. Thank you so much for being so generous. My email in the chat if you want to be on our daily email list, or if you ever want to make any comments or suggestions. And a huge thank you to Aaron Geyer for running the tech today. Thank you, Aaron. Another deep breath. I love it when the room is full. It just means I sound a little more breathless. So I'm super glad today to have with us Nerissa and Katryna Nields, who've sung with us a couple of times already, including our most beautiful, amazing inauguration day, which was such a treat. And actually, they're bringing a friend of theirs, Dar Williams, who they will tell you about. And Dar was actually with us on inauguration day because she was in the video that we played of the American the Beautiful song. So I am so glad to be with you guys again. Well, you again and you for the first time. Nerissa and Katryna, take it away.
Thank you, Joe, and hello, everybody. We love the Daily Antidote. We're so glad to see your faces, and I couldn't be more delighted that Dar Williams said yes when we said, would you be our guest? Joe wanted us to invite a guest. Dar is always my first choice for anything that has to do with singing, songwriting, performing. She's my hero. We've known Dar since 1991 when we were double booked at a gig in Cambridge. And rather than fighting over who was going to get to play, we came up with a very collaborative solution. and have been buddies ever since. At one point, we shared a manager, a publicist, a booking agent, and a record label, but we've always shared a love for music and social justice. And so, Dar, welcome, and thank you so much for saying yes.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great to be here. And as we were saying, that it's a perfect opportunity to honor Anne Feeney, who I heard was sick at the beginning of the week. And I thought, oh gosh, my Anne Feeney's thing is that I was singing with the Solidarity Singers in Wisconsin. I don't know if any of you have did that during that time in Wisconsin. This group of people would go outside the State House and sing every day. But I remember they were singing a song called "Have You Been to Jail for Justice," and I thought, oh gosh, what a classic old wobbly song that is. It was Anne's. So I thought, oh gosh, I'd love to revive "Have You Been to Jail for Justice," for my own shows or whatever. And then I realized that we were going to do this Saturday, and this blows all my sing-alongs out of the water. So this is a great opportunity to honor Anne, who woke up for long enough to squeeze her kids' hands when they would read all of the notes and appreciations and play videos. And she did all of that. And then she passed on. So she was able to receive all that love. Anyway, so I thought we would do this song together, and I'm a slow song learner. So I have the lyrics here, and I'm going to do my best. And then I wrote a little extra thing last night when I had insomnia. And it is what it is. It's the ink is still dry. I'm welcoming suggestions on the lyrics here, but here we go. Okay. And also, it's important to know that Anne, the most important thing to know about Anne is that she did that 60s thing. The 60s was like, yeah, you sing this great music, but did you show up? Did you actually, as the artist, did you go to Selma? Did you go to New York? Did you go to DC? Did you show up? Anne always showed up and actually sacrificed some of the glitz and the fame, I think, because she always showed up. And where the people were to sing for the people wherever they were, usually out in the middle of nowhere being treated like crap. So that's Anne. All right. Was it Cesar Chavez or was it Dorothy Day? Some say Dr. King or Gandhi sent them on their way. No matter who your mentors are, it's pretty plain to see. If you've been to jail for justice, you're in good company. Have you been to jail for justice? I want to shake your hand. You're sitting in and lying down are ways to take a stand. Have you sung a song for freedom or marched that picket line? Have you been to jail for justice? You're a friend of mine. You law-abiding citizens, come listen to this song. Laws were made by people, and people can be wrong. Once unions were against the law, but slavery was fine. Women were denied the vote while children worked the mine. The more you study history, the less you can deny it. A rotten law stays on the books till folks with guts defy it. Have you been to jail for justice? I want to shake your hand. You're sitting in and lying down are ways to take a stand. Have you sung a song for freedom or marched that picket line? Have you been to jail for justice? You're a friend of mine. Well, the law is supposed to serve us, so are the police. But when the system fails, it's up to us to speak our piece. We must be ever vigilant for justice to prevail. So get the courage from your convictions, let them haul you off to jail. Have you been to jail for justice? I want to shake your hand. You're sitting in and lying down are ways to take a stand. Have you sung a song for freedom or marched that picket line? Have you been to jail for justice? You're a friend of mine. Okay, here's my verse. Here we go. We all know Anne Feeney passed, which brings us up to now. It wasn't just the song she sang, but where and when and how. So in lieu of sending flowers, we're asked to honor our dear friend by lifting up our hearts in song and from the county pen. Here we go. Have you been to jail for justice? I want to shake your hand. For sitting in and lying down are ways to take a stand. Have you sung a song for freedom or marched that picket line? Have you been to jail for justice? Have you been to jail for justice? Will you go to jail for justice? Well, you're a friend of mine. Let's do it one more time. Have you been to jail for justice? I want to shake your hand. For sitting in and lying down are ways to take a stand. Have you sung a song for freedom or marched that picket line? Have you been to jail for justice? Have you been to jail for justice? Have you been to jail for justice? Well, you're a friend of mine. Woo! So that's an Anne Feeney classic, and she wrote lots of songs. And Chris Chandler wrote a wonderful story about how she was down in Texas singing the Internationale. Oh, you fell very gracefully, I have to say. She was down in Texas and she was singing the Internationale, and everyone was just staring at her. And then somebody from one country came and joined her in Spanish, and then somebody from, I think, a European country joined her, and somebody from Japan came and sang a song in Japanese, and suddenly everybody was singing together, which, you know, I don't know if any of you have ever shown up in a place trying to start a sing-along with folks. It's tough. So that's an Anne Feeney story, but and hopefully other people will add theirs as we remember her. She really was quite a force. And I was talking to Peter Yarrow about her and he said, "Oh, Anne, we did everything together." And he sang "Have You Been to Jail for Justice" for my students when I was teaching. And before he did it, he said, "I was singing this in Wisconsin. We were protesting Scott Walker. He's a fascist." And I was like, "Oh, I don't really go into well, okay, fair enough."
Thank you, Dar.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, it was totally amazing. And just in case anybody was wondering, the whole Nields Zoom Square sit down was intentional. We staged that because they were showing how you could sit or lie down in the service of justice. So
we were just acting out the song. Exactly.
Yeah. Non-violent. Right.
I have one of those piano benches with a bolt, and it just gave way magically, but I'm fine.
I'm glad. I'm glad. I was a little worried, but I had that show smile on, like, she's fine. She's fine. I'll just keep talking.
Dar, I love that. Thank you so much.
It's such a great song.
I actually, I remember meeting Anne Feeney at folk festivals back in the 90s. But I didn't remember that song, and I love that song. I think it's I think it's wonderful, and your last verse really meant a lot to me today. So thank you for.
Well, Nerissa and I are both saying that neither of us have gone to jail for justice. I'm really good at singing for people and then letting them get arrested, and so giving them the courage to get arrested. But I drive away, so food for thought.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Well, I remember back in the 90s, I was in college during the Persian Gulf War. And back then, when you marched, you got to sign up for whether or not you felt like being arrested. And it doesn't quite feel like that anymore now, does it? It feels a little more like anything could happen. I wanted to tell all of you, especially those in the Washington, D.C. area, there's a beautiful obituary to Anne Feeney in the Washington Post. And I'm just going to read the last paragraph because I think it really describes what she did. She believed in the power of music to reach and inspire people in a way that you couldn't in an essay or speech. While she had strongly held political views and worked her whole life for the things she believed in, she always did it with love and joy, even as it was backed up with anger and injustice. So I think about, Nerissa wrote this song right after Pete Seeger died, and it's the song that we felt like we wanted to do today. And when I think about people like Anne Feeney, who are artists, are activists, and are not about their own personal fame and ego, I think about what they give all of us. And I look at all of you today singing along, and I think, this is what Anne would want, and this is what Pete Seeger would want. This was their life's work, was not to be the show person at the front, but to give music to all of us so that we had it inside ourselves. And what that means is when they are gone, we still have them because we have their music. We have the inspiration to sing and to use our voice and our bodies for good. So that's a little what this song is about. It's called Joe Hill, and you'll probably catch on to the melody. It's not, it's written like a folk song so that it's easy to catch on to. But there's also an assigned sing-along part where all of the words are na 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 na. So I'm sure you can hang on, catch on to that.
We should say two things about this song. First of all, I think you probably know there's a real folk song called Joe Hill. And so this is an homage to that. And second of all, Dar sang harmonies on our studio version of this.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm going to imagine, we can't hear Dar singing. Of course, we can't hear anybody because you're all muted, but I'm imagining Dar's harmony singing along with us.
Last night I had the strangest dream. I dreamed I saw Joe Hill. He was alive as you and me. I thought we're never gonna see his like again until we find a way to gather, admit what is the matter, find a way to organize again. He came a-walking through a field, brightened by 1,000 suns. The music played around us all. He said an organizer's work is never done. An organizer's work is never done. But Joe, I said, you're 10 years dead. How can you be here now? He smiled at me with his kind old eyes. Said it takes more than death to... He said, takes more than death to kill a man. Somehow, takes more than death to kill a man. Somehow, when you walk up, talk your talking, you help others keep on walking. Hammer of justice. How can they trust us if we're just like them? He said, so you will have to write more words for tired eyes and teach these songs I sang to you. 'Cause what death can never kill goes on to organize, and death can never kill the organized. Here's your na-na-nas. Na-na-na-na, 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 na-na-na-na.
I had the strangest dream. I dreamed I saw Joe Hill. He was alive as you and me. I thought we're never gonna see his like again until we find a way together. Admit what is the matter. Find a way to organize again. Na na na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na na na. Experiment a little. Na 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 na. Hit some weird notes in there. Na 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 na. Oh, I felt like I could hear you and feel you. Thank you for singing along. It's a beautiful thing to see all your mouths moving.
That was so good. It was so much fun to sing. I have dreams that I forget to walk into grocery stores with my mask and that I forget to mute myself when I'm singing along with my friends. I kept on checking because I was singing so loud, and that would have been a nightmare.
That is so true about the dreams. I just started having those dreams of like, wait, these people don't have their masks on. I don't have my mask on. Wow.
Yeah, I had a dream that I gave Ani DeFranco that I was talking to her and then realized I didn't have my mask on. So just taking everybody down with me. But anyway, but
Soon
we
we'll
hope
all
that
be
everyone is
vaccinated.
nice and safe and getting vaccinated soon.
Yes. Yeah, our parents are getting vaccinated right now. That's why they're not on this Zoom.
Yes, we're going forward. We're going forward. But thank you, Joe and Aaron. Thank you both so much. And thanks, my dear friends, the Nields.
Thank you, Dar. Oh, Joe and Aaron and everybody here at the Daily Antidote, thank you for having us. This is a beautiful, beautiful tradition. It makes me, I forget how much it fills me up in between. And boy, did it today. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. It is always such a blessing to have you guys in the room. And in all of the ways that the Zoom is imperfect, it really also adds that element of, so we've been in here a bunch of times where we've had two artists and they're kind of talking about times when they're together, or we get to be sort of in on their more personal conversations, and we're in their living room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, so today we were in their living room. If everybody doesn't get their song exactly perfectly, or if the chair happens to fall or whatever else that happens, it doesn't matter. It's how it would happen if we were really jamming with you in your living room. So thank you so much to both Nerissa and Katryna, and of course also to Dar for bringing us all that lovely music and your presence in the room. We love spending time with you guys. Do either one of you want to just tell everybody quickly about anything that you have going on or coming up or coming out in the next upcoming time?
Well, we Nields do a show every single Monday night at 7 o'clock on our Facebook and YouTube channels. And so you can always join us. This Monday, we're doing a sort of Nields version of Valentine's songs. So lots of different kinds of love and the complications that arise therefrom.
Beautiful, thank you. And I know all of your links are in the chat for your YouTube channel and your Facebook page and your website and all that. And Dar, how about you? Do you have any projects you're working on? Especially, I think, did Nerissa and Katryna, did you mention something about an activism project that Dar is working on? And I'm not gonna remember what you were telling me, but
Oh, that was a while. That was for Inauguration Day. People sent in pictures of themselves on the steps of places that connected them with, and you can go to my site, or there was something called Steps 2021 on Facebook to see all the things that people sent in. But basically, the steps of places that lead you into places where people work together, so the commons, as an antidote to what we were expecting on Inauguration Day. There was something so awful about, like, let's sit on our couches and wait and see what terrible thing happens at the Capitol. I thought, well, why don't we assert, instead of, why don't we assert who we are? Sorry, that's my parents. And by being on the steps that civilize us, and that show how collaborative and creative we are. So we did that, and thank you so much to the Nields for they really gave it their all, and their parents. So that was really
I do
wonderful.
really encourage you guys to go. I was especially moved, actually, by Peter Yarrow's version of If I Had a Hammer. Like right now I'm tearing up thinking about it.
Yeah, he said, we still have a hammer, we still have a bell. It was it was
incredibly moving.
Snowing, he didn't have a hat on, and he's bald, and it was snowing, and he's just like giving it his all. Oh man. And it was extremely, there were a lot of really moving pictures of people with their families. And so we did that. And I have a concert coming up later on online that's going to be Songs of Emergence into Spring, because there's so much of that feeling in the air. And
Yes.
I also lead songwriting. We were doing like day-long theme related songwriting. If anyone wants to write a song, we're going to do that in April, and that's a lot of fun. I love to help people, as does Nerissa, find their voice. Very, very loving environment for helping people find their songwriting and writing voices.
And Dar's songwriting retreats are incredible. They're beloved. I run 10-week long, once a week writing workshops.
And those are beloved as well, I will say.
Well, yeah, I think you and I both wanted to give back what we've learned through a career of making our living through writing.
Yeah. And how we've been supported, such kind, people helping us find our voice. And that's what folk music is all about. It's like, what's your voice? So exactly. That's what I'm up to. But it's really nice to be here with everybody and to see all these faces.
Thank you both so much. So, here we are all. This is one of the ways in which we show up. And I hope that everybody will click on all those fabulous links and show up at some of the other stuff out there. I want to thank the folks in the room who showed up this morning at the Constructive White Conversation, Dan Zane's project this morning. It was great. And we'll keep posting to you when we're going to be at the next one, so you can hopefully join us at those. I do want to say that the phone ringing with Dar's parents is just more of that living room thing. And if we wanted to really keep with the theme, Dar, you should have just answered. Been like, oh yeah, hang on, Mom. Say hi to everybody. So thank you so much, gang, for letting us be inside of your lives in this way. It's so super special. And let's see if there's anyone in the room that is interested in staying in the room to find out why we're going to be writing 500 more thank you cards. Please stay in the room, because we could use all the help that we could get. So thank you to all the folks who wrote the cards already. For anybody in the room who doesn't know, there was a great article in the Washington Post about a project we did for Howard University, writing 1,700 thank you cards. Do I hear 2,200? I do hear that. Okay, so if you want to hear more about that, please stick in the room. And in case you're not sticking in the room, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Let's all give one more big thank you to Dar and to Katryna and Nerissa, please. You guys are awesome. So much fun being with you. I will say on the side that I don't know if Busy Graham is still in this room, but at one point, Dar, I was at a concert where Ani DeFranco opened for you, I think at the Birchmere. Is that ringing any bells? It was before Ani was even Ani.
Well, I was probably opening for her, but yes,
nope,
I did.
I don't think so. I think it was the reverse. I'm almost positive she went first and you went second, but I could have that wrong. Maybe.
I don't. I think I first met Ani in Beloit, or in Ann Arbor, and by then she was very. It was. I'll just say I was pretty nervous.
Okay. All right. So I have
That's
it backwards.
awesome. But there have been people who've opened for me at the Birch, as people know here, who have. I always feel like I can be an ambassador of whoever I'm playing with, and I'm so glad that you got turned on to somebody that day.
Yeah. So we came to the Birch to see you, and I ended up learning about Ani there. At one point, Busy Graham of Carpe Diem Arts is who I was with. She said, "Oh look, Dar's walking down the the hallway, I'm going to get a picture of you. Dar, can I take a picture of you and Joe? And I'm standing there like, no, don't do that. And so there's this awesome picture, Dar, of you and me. It's like 2 decades ago and we look really different. And you're smiling at the camera so graciously. And I have this frumpy look on my face, like, I can't believe she made me do this. And like, it's such an awesome photo. I'm going to find it and send it.
We'll do an update.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. On Zoom, of course. So to all of you in this room who've been on this folk music journey and this activism journey for so long, thank you so much for everything you do, for being here. Thanks again to Katryna and Nerissa and Dar. And I'm going to wave you all out of the room and just stick around if you want to hear more about the cards. So thank you for joining us today. Oh, thank you for joining us Facebook Live. And we look forward to singing with you tomorrow. Actually begins our 2 weeks of singing for racial justice. We have an incredible range of artists and hosts who are going to be joining us. So please join us for the next 2 weeks. We're going to have a flyer coming out sometime today.